What's going on, folks? We are back for an unprecedented third show this week. This is not the show we wanted to do, but it's a show we're going to have to do. Got a couple of friends here with us that's going to help us try to figure out what the hell we watched last night. Not even sure they know. Hey, we're going to try. We're going to be like our quarterback. We're going to try our best and be fun about it. How about that? Let's go. What's going on, Falcons fans? It is episode 66 of Out of Your Falcon Mind, Atlanta Falcons Fancast. I am John, your host, joined by my sad sort of host, Mr. Mike Cottrell. What's going on, buddy?
I'm gonna tell you, I'm conflicted right now. This is the zombie edition for those that don't know, but I'm conflicted right now because while sad about the game, I do have a dream duo on the show with us tonight with Tre'shon and Fleek. So this is the first time this has happened. I'm excited about that, but sad about the game. Does that make any sense?
No, it makes perfect sense, man. Yeah, so we're coming live to you tonight on the Variety Sports Network, as always. Glad to be here. And like Mike just said, we are joined by Tre'shon and Fleek, both from the New Millenium Falcons podcast. I know I got to mess that up, but I get it right. But you guys introduce yourselves. You do it better than I do. Trey, go ahead, bud.
Yeah. Tre'shon from the New Millenium Falcons podcast and ATB Falcons. Happy to be here. Happy to be back. Second time on the show now, so repeat guest always a good thing. So glad that you guys wanted me back on the show, and excited to talk about last night. Believe it or not.
Yeah, no, we are too.
We got a lot of good stuff to talk about.
No, we do.
Good is a strong word. I'm Fleek at Ron Rico Season on Twitter from also the New Millenium Podcast, New Millenium Falcons Podcast. Dog, I can't even say it right.
Messed up our own show.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I appreciate the invite, y'all. It's always fun talking Falcons football with y'all. It's gonna be a little less fun today, but it's still gonna be fun nonetheless.
That's right, man. Yeah.
Fleek the third host of the show. He done been on here 67 times in a row. Man, we love having them on this, John, man. We love
I hit them both up today, and I think the last time Fleek was on was after the Browns game. I hit him up on the way home. I was like, "Hey, you want to jump on the show with us?" So we appreciate y'all coming on, man. We love having you on, especially whether it's good or bad. And today's probably not it's not great, but hey, like I said, we got to talk about it. And right. Mike, before we get into it, man, we got a couple of 5-star reviews on iTunes we got to share out. First one from my boy, I'm assuming Jolt. From Jolt Old
Jolt, what's up, buddy?
He just said best Falcons podcaster, so we appreciate you, Jolt.
We appreciate it, man. Thank you, man.
The next one is this was funny. It's the title is Impressed, and dude says, as a diehard Chargers fan, I've been extremely impressed with these Falcon hosts. They are so Falcon good. I decided to honor them with my new podcast, Out of Your Bolton Mind, and that's from Barnaby. And he was he joined the Bolt Brothers and we were on with them. So the Bolt Bros, whatever. Cool. So man, so Barnaby, we appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, man. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
So yeah, that was cool.
We love y'all. That meant a lot. The sentimental edition, the somber and sentimental edition. We love it. Thank you.
Yeah, and look, if y'all are watching this for the first time, hey, welcome in. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button. The like button it means the world to us. It helps us get out there to more Falcons fans. We put out a tweet last night that I think's probably up around 40,000+ views now. So we may have some new folks in here, which is cool. That's great.
Dog, I feel like a hot girl, John. You hit a home run. I feel like a hot girl. I saw the views. I was like, this is what it feel like. I know what it feel like now.
I mean, I thought
it'd feel like Meg. That's crazy,
man. I thought it was gonna be funny, and I thought people would like it, but I didn't think it'd be to this scale. I mean, it's been
we've been doing this a year. That one tweet outdid everything we posted. The characters we posted, the pictures, the website itself. I'm telling you that one thing did it.
I mean, I've had some really good, thought out tweets. Got 9 likes. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh,
really stuff I really put my heart into, and not nothing. And I put out little funny shit, and it's like boom, just explodes.
I was blaming girls. For being stuck up. Now I get it. Now I understand. I'm sorry, ladies. I get it.
Oh man, yeah. And before we also get into it, it is Veterans Day. So hey man, shout out to all the veterans out there. I know Mike and both of our dads were in the Air Force and served, so that means a lot to us. So just want to put that out there as well. And congrats to Jake Matthews, man. He got his firstborn yesterday. He was able to get down to Atlanta. And then thanks to the help of Arthur Blank, man, fly right back up. So kudos to Arthur Blank, man, for being a hell of an owner and a human being there, making that happen, because dude literally rolled in at like 7 p.m. yesterday to play. So that was cool of him.
Oh, he is a great human being, man. But he makes some odd choices at times, but a great human being.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I made a tweet about him yesterday that I quickly deleted because I didn't know if it was too far. But because I had said, you know, man, I know Jake Matthews is mad as hell. He ain't just at home with his family right now. Like,
I mean, that's legit
for this.
I mean,
like,
it's your first kid, man. Yeah.
No, just imagine the story if he would have won. He would have been able to tell that story to his kid forever. Now he got to tell some bullshit.
Yeah. Did we?
You know what? He don't got to tell it. Jake, just play this podcast. Get the number. Remember the number. Play it back. You can keep your mouth closed.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, and so, and also, guys, if you're in the chat, we'll get in there in a second. Once we get going, and if you're in the chat, man, y'all can comment anything you want. Not y'all want to vent, hey, vent. You want to ask some questions, ask some questions. This is all. I mean, this is just a let it rip type of podcast for us tonight. We're going to be off until next Thursday, so hey, we're gonna have some fun with it. So let's just get into the game, guys. Going in, I was feeling pretty confident, man. Like, you know, we just played these guys 10 days ago. Even though the game was insane and I damn near died watching it, like I still felt good about it. Like I just thought, like, all right, you know, we've got the plan. There's nothing really new they're going to show us, and vice versa. But man, we just came out flat as hell, and they came out just out physicaling us, right? I mean, like, it was just both lines of scrimmage were just muscling us off the ball. I mean, 2 penalties in the first 2 minutes for us. I mean, they were loading up to stop the run. I mean, it was the first possession was just kind of garbage, to be honest with you. So it was just not great. But I'll let y'all think. What was y'all's thoughts going into the game?
I was arrogant about it. I really was arrogant. I wasn't even confident. Sure. It went past confident to arrogance. Like, I started Cordell Patterson and Kyle Pitts in my fantasy. Like, I was arrogant with it. I thought we had just blown them out and they couldn't stop Kyle Pitts. We would do the same thing again. I couldn't have been more wrong. But I was arrogant going in, and they changed that real fast. But you know what? I'm arrogant until like 60 seconds left in the fourth quarter when we down 35. Then I accept it. I swear to God. Every time, I'd be like, we know what? If we get it, if it's a fumble, then we get it back. Then until like a minute left, and then I give up.
Well, I mean, in your defense, I mean, we were a possession down at the end of the game. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, we weren't exactly out of it. But I mean, Fleek, what'd you think, buddy?
I mean, it was bad. I mean, I was confident going in. Like, I know that it's hard for me to confidently just give us a win, because I don't know if this team just really knows how to win games. Because even when they have, it's like that Panthers game was too close for comfort, and that felt like a loss, even though it was a win. Like, so I don't know that this team truly knows how to finish a game still. It just looks a little bit different now. But yesterday we looked terrible in every way, in my opinion. The offensive line looked really bad. I know Gossett was starting at left guard yesterday. Caleb McGarry had a few noticeable bad block attempts. But overall, the line played very bad. Mariota was pressured all night, and we didn't get any pressure on defense. They ran all over us again. Deontay Foreman as Walter Payton when he plays the Falcons. So, I mean, when I saw that we couldn't get our run game started and we couldn't stop their run game, I knew we were in for a long night. But the crazy things about games like that is you're never really out of it, because, like you said, in the end, we ended up still only losing or being down by one possession with a chance to tie the game with a touchdown. But, like, we just couldn't bring ourselves to do it, man. We shot ourselves in the foot too many times.
Yep. Yeah. Trey, what you think, bud?
You know, that game was close the same way that Tennessee-Georgia was close at the end. It was never a close game. It was never a close game. We were beat from beginning to end. every quarter. It was, coming into this, you can ask Fleek on Wednesday night. My score prediction for this game was 14-6, and the rest of them couldn't believe it. They thought that was crazy. 14-6. They're like I'm like, oh man, I'm telling you, I do not have a good feeling about this team. We should have lost to the Panthers. That's a game, and what happened. We'll always take the W, but we didn't, do anything from my, point of view that improved us from that game coming into this one. So after seeing how that one ended, I was nervous about this. After watching how the Chargers game ended and then knowing we had a short week and we had to turn around in 4 days, it just kind of had that feeling like, man, this is a trap game. We're playing a really hungry team that already got their coach fired. They've got guys that are getting shipped off. Those guys are playing for jobs, just the same way that we got guys at the bottom of our roster right now playing for jobs too. So when you play, hungry teams like that, if you don't execute, you're going to pay for it. And, we couldn't execute on offense. This passing defense is Swiss cheese, man.
Yeah.
20 to 30 mile per hour winds, gusts of rain, and the Panthers come out throwing. They ran the ball on us, but they came out throwing on the first drive. And that just, that tells you everything you need to know about this defense.
Yeah. And I blame the weathermen because we were expecting like hellish conditions and 40 mile an hour, like true 40 mile gusts and just sheets of rain. And it got a little hard there, but it wasn't nothing like we were told it was going to be.
Not as bad as it could have been.
No, I was expecting like, Patriots Bills last year where there was like, 5 pass attempts the entire game. That, like you said, that wasn't the case. And what y'all said about the line and Colby, I know PFF kind of is what it is, but the bottom 2 guys, Colby Gossett, man, the bottom 40.5, Drew Dahlman 41.4, and then
had a rough game.
He did, man. If you want to go into some more of Keith Smith 49.2.
Can the numbers ever be negative?
I don't think so.
Is that a thing?
Parker Hesse 52.7.
It should be a thing.
Yeah, man. And then McGarry was, where was he at? 56.8, and then Lindstrom was our highest one as usual, 70.6.
And he had a rough game.
And he did too. Yeah, he got Derek Brown ate his freaking lunch more times.
Derek Brown had a hell of a game last night.
He did the first time too. The first game he destroyed us. So, our highest rated PFF guy was Kadero Hodge, and that was mainly because of the limited snaps. He had 8 total snaps, so of course he's going to have a high grade when he scores a touchdown. Of the actual regular starters, it was Lindstrom was the highest one. If that's so, that should tell you basically how the night went right there from any type of playmaking ability. But yeah, let's jump into the chat real quick before we go any farther. Anthony, what's up, bud?
Man, what's going on, buddy?
Big
Pop.
Anthony said, man, I'm so mad because I remember say the score is going to be 24-17. That prediction took a 360 giving the Panthers 25. Yeah, you're exactly right. Well,
I knew you was going hard when you said that one, though. And I'm out of my pocket mind, but you went hard.
Yeah, we actually agreed. We said 17-10.
Yeah.
So, we figured it'd be low, too. I just thought we'd be on the other side of it. Big Pop said, I know McGarry gave up the sack on the 4th down, but think it's safe to say Mariota would have overthrown it anyway. Hey, I almost tweeted out, I did tweet, come on, McGarry, you didn't even give him a chance, but I was going to put a chance to even overthrow or miss the guy. But I already piled on enough, so I was like, you know what? I'll just leave it as it is. I don't want to get killed too much for those. So whatever. But and you look how the second quarter went, man. Actually, just all like all of them. Like y'all said, all 3 phases, man. Koo missing 2 extra points. I was like,
what's up with him lately?
What's happening? Why is this going on?
He the most reliable. That's my guy. I don't know what's up with him. Even when he started missing, there's something going on, man.
I think I did this.
You're responsible.
Wednesday night on the show, I talked about how even losses have been fun to watch with this team, and then yesterday was not fun at all. No. It was just I felt like last season. I felt helpless. That's how I felt watching that game. We got dominated from top to bottom. Yeah, and we never even there are redeemable moments in every game to the point where we're like, oh man, all right, I believe this momentum can carry us. But even when we scored touchdowns yesterday to come closer, it didn't feel like, all right, we're going to make a run. It felt like, all right, like, okay, let's see, like, the entire game. And then Koo missing those extra points and stuff like that. That's just when I knew. I'm like, yeah, today's not my day.
Yeah, I totally get that we were on a short week, but so were they. I mean, the rain was bad, but it was bad for them too. So, like, all the elements that you get that goes into it, is we both in the same boat. I mean, like, it's not like either team has a ton of depth. I mean, they just outballs us, man. Like, they just had bigger balls than we did last night, and they showed it. I mean, like, it was like,
man, they played tougher than we did, and I'm gonna tell you what it felt like. Fleek hit it spot on. Like, on fantasy, I don't know if you do fantasy and you press live matchup and the percentages go with green. Like, I'm telling you, it felt like that percentage was going to like 20%. It's gonna be America 10%. And you felt it was getting depressing because it was no back and forth. It just kept getting lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. It's still going lower to me. I feel it in my stomach. It's going lower right now.
Well,
it was depressing to watch. It was no hope for that game.
Well, and what sucked too is we had opportunities. I mean, like, Graham, we'll talk about it, but I mean, the Panthers had opportunities to intercept 4 balls should have been caught probably by them. We had the same thing with us. I mean, like, the very first possession, Darren Hall, man, like, the dude could have ran it down there and gave it to you, and it'd been just as well as that ball was placed in your hands. You got to catch that thing, man. Like, that was.
They dropped 3 interceptions. It's no excuse for that. I don't care what raining, man. Dog, I don't care if it was literally raining cats and dogs. Don't drop 3. Like, you catch a cat or a dog. Like, that's what you get paid to do, even in the rain, dog. No, 3 is unacceptable. Even if they would have caught 1, we may have won.
Right. And early on, I mean, the first one down was just shit for us. I mean, like, we kept getting bailed out on third down, but like we could not do anything first and second down. There was 2 consecutive holding calls on Gossett that really jacked up that drive that I thought, we were actually moving the ball pretty well, and that set us back. So we had to end up punting that one. Foreman was just getting way too many easy runs, man. I mean, he was sometimes not getting touched at the third level. I mean, just running through.
Defense with Swiss cheese too.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I was gonna ask John if you had Michael Walker's PFF grade there that you were reading.
I was about to mention him, man. Yeah,
to hear that one.
Yeah, I'll look at that. Yeah, he got yanked for Troy early in that game. He was having a rough.
It should be a question mark.
He was.
Because we don't know what the hell he was doing.
He had a 69.5 actually.
He went back in after he got pulled, but he had a rough game. The last 3 games to me have felt like the 2021 Falcons. Everybody said that this team is different this year, and we kind of, at the beginning it felt that way, but these last 3 games, you go back to the first Carolina Panthers game, a game that we won, but it felt like we lost. That was the theme of last season. Whenever we won a game, it was always a struggle. It was how did we pull it off? And then you have the loss to the Chargers where we just give the game away. We have every opportunity to close it out, to finally put our stamp on it. We don't do it. We let a young QB come back in. And then you have last night, which was just a blowout. And we had tweeted out on our New Millennium Falcons Twitter page about the Falcons being 4-5 last year through 9 games, and us being 4-5 this year through 9 games. That 10th game was a Thursday night football blowout in both years now. And it's just kind of crazy to see this team almost take some steps back in a few areas where we thought they had gotten the mental edge and the growth that they needed, and, some bad coaching and then just some bad player execution. And it's not look good.
Yeah. And the top, while we're on the PFF, the top 2, which, I mean, shouldn't surprise you if you watch the game. Richie Grant with his probably best game, 91.7.
Richie balled out.
He did. And Taquan Graham, 80.2. And then it went
bounce back game for TK.
It was, yeah.
He needed that.
He did need that, man. Yeah, that's. I mean, regardless of what he says, that weighs on you, man. After that, game.
I thought it was cool they made him a captain for the game.
I did too. That was awesome.
I was like, that's a good way to pick that man back up.
Yep. And then the next 2, I was D. Alford at 74.4 and Darren Hall at 73.5.
D. Alford would have had a 100 if he had both of his picks.
Man.
Yeah.
The last one was a pick six, buddy. The last one was a pick six. Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah. What the interception drop really hurt too, like that we don't really talk about because it was so deep and so late. But that Richie Grant interception would have been at the 30-yard line.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that would have switched field position immensely.
And here's the problem: if it wasn't just this game, like I would say the rain, but they drop interceptions. I don't know what it is. Like they drop interceptions. It just wasn't. So we can't just say, "Oh, it was raining." They drop interceptions. Like they need to get that together.
Yeah.
They drop.
I don't know a problem they don't have. I'm gonna be honest. This whole game was an acceptance game. I don't even care if you me. Like you were sitting home, like maybe I'm overzealous. Like maybe I'm a little bit too up. Like reel it in. Like it was an acceptance game for the whole state of Georgia. Like we all said things like maybe we, because that's the Panthers. I don't care what nobody say. That's PJ Walker. I don't care what nobody hype him. That's PJ Walker and backup running backs. McCaffrey gone, and a new coach is shambles.
Yeah, they fired 2 coaches last week.
That's what I'm saying.
DJ Moore missed like 2.5, 3 quarters last night too. Like after that first catch. So
yeah, and then so let me ask you this. So I mean, the preseason assessment of this roster was what? It was terrible, right? That was everybody said this is the worst roster. We're not going to win any games. So we win some games. When Mike and I talked about this on the show before, you win a little bit, and all of a sudden your perception changes, but also you're kind of, I mean, you expect more at that point, right? So you're thinking, okay, well maybe this wasn't as bad as everybody said it was. And then you have, like Trey said, these 3 weeks where you're like, shit. I mean, like maybe it is, and there was just an aberration there of a few. They put together some good quarters, but now this is kind of the depth kind of coming through, and some of the stuff that we've been fighting for years, like no pass rush. I mean, I know we're getting better pass rush, if you want to call it that. We're getting close to the quarterback, but we're still not getting enough. I mean, I know the two. I mean, having AJ down and Casey down sucks bad. I mean, like, there's no way around it. It is what it is. I mean, those guys doing the best they can. They're not starters in the NFL. They're just not. So that is what it is. But how much of what do y'all think? Is it a little bit of just coming, like Mike said, coming back down to earth with this roster, or I mean, is this just 3 performances that were just not us, that we have to get better?
I think I'm leaning kind of towards what Mike was saying with it coming back down to earth. That, and you look at, I think you touched on it too, John, the depth with both of the corners down. I think we really have seen how thin this secondary is. They brought in Fenton last night. The play that sticks out is the broken tackle or missed tackle he had. So that's not too good. Talent is an issue. Talent was an issue beforehand. There's no pass rush. We are starting to see that, even though Arnold Ebiketie, he's had a really good win rate, they're still able to get the ball out. We're still not finishing. Nobody else is getting to the quarterback. And it's tough when your pass rush is going through Grady Jarrett, because that's just not how, that's not sustainable, and that's not going to create, the kind of pressure you need to help your offense out, to help close out games on a consistent basis. So it just kind of feels like, this is a bit of who they are. These are the issues they had, and now they're starting to get a little bit exposed. And I honestly think the passing game is worse than they expected it to be this year too. Totally I think that's put another strain on the team that they weren't totally prepared for. So it just kind of seems like the limitations are starting to finally, be exposed more and more. And the Panthers really showed it, because this was their second shot at us. It looked like they had a new game plan. It didn't look like we had a new game plan. It looked like we were
offense and defense.
Yeah. It looked like we were going to just come in. We were like, we're just going to do exactly what we did last time and hope it works. And Carolina said no, and they changed up their entire game plan. So I expect that from the Saints when we see them again, from the Buccaneers when we see them again. These other divisional games will be, will be tougher this time around.
Yeah, I mean, that first time Foreman was running a lot of gap scheme type runs last night, a lot of zone, and we didn't adjust to it. We were preparing for like it was just the last game, and that was the same thing. That just it sucked. But Fleek, you thinking the same thing, buddy?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a lot though, like a little bit of everything, like because we can't understate how big of a loss our top two cornerbacks are.
Mhm.
And granted, they weren't having the greatest season early, but AJ had gotten his footing, in my opinion. And, maybe he wasn't as locked down and elite as he played last season, but he was still a number one corner. And I think the people that started taking that for granted kind of see now, like when you're rolling out Armstrong and, Hall as CB1 3 weeks in a row, like you've been torched, by Terrace Marshall. Like you're getting torched by receivers that aren't like known to be big playmakers on the regular.
Yeah.
And another thing that I feel like has been missing for the last 3 weeks, and we kind of seen it in the first Panthers game, in the second half, which is what kept us in the game at all, is we never have made crazy amounts of great plays, but we were making great plays when we needed them. Grady would get a sack at the end of games early in the season. Like we'd catch an interception towards the end. We'd force a fumble, something. We were making timely special plays, and we just haven't been doing that the last 3 weeks. Our linebacker play has gone down significantly, it seems.
Big time.
Like
it's falling off.
Fleek should be a doctor, and here's why: because he delivered bad news with a smile. Like he's smiling the whole time. He said it's sickening. I don't know how to feel about it. Like he got like a Colgate smile. Like yep, and we can't block, we can't tackle. They don't catch interception. Like with a Colgate smile, man.
It's what you said, Mike. It's acceptance. Like I get it now. Like and 4 and 5 was never good. 4 and 5 is not good at all. But it was acceptable because our division is so down. So 4 and 5 felt like maybe like 6 and 3, and like we might be on the way to the, But then quickly you see a game like that. I mean, that's only one more game down, but it feels like we just lost 3 games in a row last night, and it's like my confidence went from here to here in one night. But this team desperately needed a spark last night at some point, and we just couldn't get it. We, like Mike said, we dropped 3 or 4 interceptions. Like that's the spark you need. You don't capitalize on those plays. There are a few passes that Mariota missed that would have been big gains. Maybe not touchdowns, but who knows? You're moving the ball down the field, more opportunities. It's just, when the one thing we did have was run game, and when that did not work properly at the beginning of the game, that's when I knew like I should be worried, because that's all we had.
Fleek, you breaking up a little bit, buddy.
I'm glad he brought up the run game, because there's something we got to talk about that happened last night that's still crazy to me.
Let's talk about it. Trey, what's up?
Cordell Patterson touched the ball 5 times.
Yeah, what is that about?
I'm glad you're doing this.
Cordell Patterson touched the ball 5 times. I know we talked about how the run game wasn't working that well last night, but we didn't really get to see that much of it. What happened to running the ball 40 times in a game? What happened to running the ball 14 times in a row? Like, it felt like the mentality from the coaching side had changed. It was really weird to see Avery Williams in at the 2-minute 34-second mark of the fourth quarter, last drive. We have to score. Avery Williams just returned a punt, and he's in as the running back, and you hand him the ball. That's a terrible coaching decision. Why are you handing the ball off to the returner immediately after that? Why is Avery Williams in crunch time on the drive to score? You don't have Patterson in. I don't know. I think he maybe got in his head with splitting up the backfield. Algier ended up leading with 8 carries. CP was tied with Huntley for 5. I just don't understand the mindset of what was going on. Cordell is also not getting the ball thrown to him at all anymore. He had 1 attempt, and I think Algier had 3. Yeah, maybe the knee isn't as ready to go. Maybe it wasn't ready to go for a quick turnaround. But man, I'm really surprised at what happened with Cordell's usage last night.
That was my only.
Man, let me say this.
Yeah,
there's no way. That was the main point of the game that really pissed me off, was There's no way he should ever be second in courage to Tyler Algier. And that's no knock to him. Great, right? But there's no way because he is dynamic. That's a star. Tyler ain't no star. Tyler just got good like last 2-3 games. Before that, he was running right into the back of the offensive line. Like he was getting 2-3 yards of carry, and he just started doing that. You know, man, Cordell can catch, like Trey said. Dog, he can do a reverse. He could throw it. He can do all type of shit. There's no way he should not be on the field for like at least 60, 70% of the plays, just himself. But you damn sure the third, man, don't try to. It's like he thought he had like Marshall Falk and The Greatest Show on. He was trying to, nah, dog, you don't have, that's not what you do. I'm going to just say that. It's not what you do. You know what you do. And again, you got in your own head. Now I'm on you because I've been giving him such a pass. But now I'm just thinking, damn, is he a good coach? Like I said, it's an acceptance game. Because even I've been on the dude train. I never said that. Now I was thinking, damn, is he a good coach? Have I ever seen you like outsmart the other coach in a duel? And I'm thinking like, are you a good coach now? Because now I don't agree with a lot of your decisions and I'm not that smart, bro. So what that's telling you?
Well, I mean, and Trey, you said it. I mean, the only thing I could think of is that, yeah, it was a short turnaround and they're trying to ease him back in. It's not 100%. That's the only thing that makes any sense because otherwise he should be, like you said, he should be leading in touches. I mean, as far as in the running game and it's getting him involved other ways. We'll jump back in the chat real quick here before we go any further. Anthony said, man, what about Mariota roll and throwing? We're going to get there.
We're getting there.
On the thing was the most to pick. Yeah, man, we're going to get there. And then Cole said, Ritter time. We're getting there, buddy. He said, I feel the offense is talented like they showed versus San Fran, but the QB is hold. Man, yeah, this is all going to just come to a head here pretty soon.
Brady was balling last night. You damn right.
As usual, man.
Every night. Yeah.
And then Cole said, yeah, Mike, let's get CP at QB. I mean, yeah.
He would do equally good or better.
Well, and something else, man. So, and Trey, you mentioned it earlier, kind of in passing, but that first TD, that swing pass to Chanel, nobody wanted to tackle him at all. It was just like non-existent. It was like, nah, man, you just go ahead.
They took the worst possible angle.
My God. Like first time you ever tackle somebody,
Hawkins. The fundamentals are deteriorating.
Look, man, when they ran into each other, I died laughing. When Hawkins took out Evans or Evans took out Hawkins, I died laughing. I was like, this is happening right now on Thursday night prime time. That's cool. And then we get the ball back. Drake gets the catch over the middle, gets the roughness penalty, gets up, shows it. I mean, I love Drake, man. I love his mentality. Yeah. I want to see more of it. Tough, I really want to see more of it. Like, but we'll hopefully eventually get there. But this is what got me too. So we get in the red zone with one timeout. We don't even take a shot at it, guys. We got 20 seconds left. We don't take a shot. Like, and I get it. Like, you don't trust the man to at least. Like, that's his wheelhouse, at least. If he has a wheelhouse, it's those short to intermediate type things, right? So that's where we kind of were. So draw up something, man. Like, if it's not there, throw it away. That's fine.
Too scared.
But something.
Oh, yeah, he threw
too scared. You have
Texas route.
Two top 10 picks, and you're too scared to take a shot.
Dog, you played like you had the greatest show on turf all fucking game. And then when you needed to do that, you didn't want to? Like, so now I'm saying, like, he was doing shit all game that like was like ballsy shit. But then when you needed to have balls, you tucked them. Dog, I know his stomach hurt today. He tucked his balls last night. I know his stomach still hurt. I know it hurt. Because he let the state of Georgia down. We like, yeah, man, we need this. And then, like I said, now it was coaching. Like I said, it was an acceptance game. I'm going to keep saying that. Like, damn, man, maybe he's not the dude. Dog, what was that? At least take a shot. At least let him run. Just do something. Right. At least try.
And then third quarter starts, man. Richie hit a big hit, punches the ball out. Guy never really caught it, so they deemed it an incomplete pass. And then another unnecessary roughness on kind of backed them up. So they went 3-and-out to start the second half. So it was like all right. So we got maybe a little momentum here. We at least got a field goal. We can come back, and then we got the drive stalled again by holding on Hesse this time around instead of Colby Gossett. It would just seem to be like the theme. If we weren't stopping ourselves, it was missed passes. It was we couldn't run the ball. Like, it was literally just, I mean, like our boys from the Bolt Bros, they text us like, man, like this is rough to watch. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
y'all have to watch. I mean, y'all can turn it off if you want to. I mean, we considered it, but and then the next possession. No, sorry, the same possession. Then Marcus scrambles and literally runs out of bounds 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh yeah.
Can
we talk about that?
Yeah, man.
Why doesn't he throw the ball away?
Just throw it. Just throw it away.
Like, he's always
Situational
outside of
awareness.
the pocket, so it's not like he's avoiding an intentional grounding call. He's
Exactly.
always outside of the pocket.
Yeah, he was on the sideline. Like, dude, let it rip.
And he's just like I want to do something, but I don't know what to do, so I'm just go out of bounds. Like, I'm just. And the thing that made me so mad about it is we were on the precipice of field goal range, and I know it's ugly out there, but it's like we were getting close enough for a chance, or we were there for a chance, and you do that in that moment on 3rd down. That's just wild to me.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a mental fart. That's what that is. That's a mental mistake.
Dog, his like Madden awareness has to be on 2. It has to be on 2. Like, he literally what Fleek did was so hilarious because that's what he did. He was literally on 2 like a video game. Like, he had like, he just situational awareness. You're the quarterback.
Yeah, an 8-year quarterback. Anyway, and then the only silver lining was that we did punt it down to the 2-yard line, and then they got backed up again by 2 penalties. So they went 3 and out. We got it right back. And then Marcus missed a wide open. I couldn't have been more wide open in the flat pits, man. Like, I don't know how you missed that. I'm not being a dick. I'm not piling on. And I mean, there's enough in it, but I mean, like, my God, man, like, how does an NFL quarterback miss that pass?
I don't think he's an NFL quarterback.
He's not a starting caliber.
He's an ice cream truck driver. And he should have an ice cream truck.
He's not starting caliber.
No, I don't even think he back up.
Yeah, I said that Wednesday on the pod, man, and I felt kind of bad saying it, but after that game, I'm so glad I said it. I'm so glad it's on video because I compared him to guys in like Taylor Heineke and like the 2nd and 3rd string guys that come in when the superstar quarterbacks go down. Like, that's who is our starting quarterback. He's that inaccurate, and that's who we're rolling out there every single week.
He's 6'6", man. He's 6'6", and you overthrew him. Like, what the hell? And then, it didn't end up hurting us because we actually scored on that drive. I mean, Huntley had the big run after that, and then he actually threw a great jump ball to Drake. I'll give him that. That was the best throw he had all night. He threw it right where Drake needed to jump up and get it. He got it, scored. And then unfortunately, Koo missed the extra point. And then the same thing that happened with the Chanot on the Panthers possession. Marshall catches it right at the middle of the field. Again, nobody wants to put a hand on him. And if they did, it was not a good attempt. And then Foreman just rolled right in the end zone, no problem. They go up. Oz had a big catch and run on the next play. Drive stalled out after more pressure and a sack. And we just could not stop their run game. And then ball goes right through D. Alford's hand on the next possession that we talked about. We had PJ under pressure, but they made a field goal 22-9 at that point. Then Shaq Thompson drops a pick that's right in his hands. That he just jumps in front of the route. He could have had that one easily. That would have been a pick 6 for them. Mariota just he got – this is when he tripped and launched the ball in the air and picked. And I mean, that was the tweet we sent out that, fuck it, players from both teams are down there somewhere. That's what we sent out. And that's
that was fucking hilarious, man.
And I mean, it was just, I'd never seen anything like that. And then 4th
I
and
have at a high school football game one time.
I mean, you would imagine it like if it's at the end of the game and you got nothing left to lose, and it's just like, oh shit,
absolutely.
I'll throw it up there. Not in that situation, man.
Wow.
And then,
like, what you said was funny, and I laughed at it. The first thought I thought was, "You're so bad that it's unprofessional, brother. That was some unprofessional shit you just did."
Yes,
like, dog, it's football, and I've never seen somebody do something that in football was like, you being unprofessional. If I was human resources, I'd have to get you, dog. Like, what was you doing? Like, dog, you rolled out of a roll and threw it blindly. Dog, you would have thought it was the last play of the game and your kid was tied up in somebody's basement in Boston.
Man,
and you had to win.
Somebody
you being young, that's unprofessional, dog. You got to come out the game as soon as you do some shit like that.
Man, somebody responded to our tweet and said it was that's a Madden glitch. Like that's
come on, man.
You roll it on the ground, the ball just pops up. You
don't
flies
do
down
that,
the field.
bro.
Crazy,
I mean, he lost
man.
me with that. He lost all. I'm not making no excuse for him. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
y'all know I try not to cuss on the timeline, but that one had me. Yeah. I had to say something, man.
Yeah. I mean, well, and then after that, I mean, the Panthers went 3 and out again. So they kept giving us opportunities to stay in the game. It's not like they just were blowing us out. But like Trey said, it was never felt close, but they kept us in it. Like score-wise, they kept us in it. Like, and I mean, I never felt like we were going to win it. I mean, I just didn't have that feeling. But they did have a good drive. They had a great drive, actually. A couple of good passes, completions, ran the ball. Cardell Hodge catches a touchdown. Another mixed extra point. So hopefully Koo gets that. He had 71 in a row before that miss. So I mean, hopefully, he just whatever he's got to do mentally before this and gets it together. Next possession, man, Richie should have had the pick, as we already talked about. Man, he could have just probably picked 6 on that one. And then the last possession. So there's 2 minutes and 33 seconds left. First play is a draw, doesn't go anywhere. Second play, terrible protection, like god awful protection, gets sacked. Third play, misses Oz on third, not even a catchable ball, like not even remotely catchable. And then 4th and 18, McGarry doesn't even put his fucking hand on the guy. Brian, his name's Brian. Was it Brian Burns, right?
Oh yeah, their best.
Wasn't it Brian Burns? I think,
I believe.
Yes.
So, who got the sack? Yeah. Yes.
So he's decent. Like he's an okay player, I think. So maybe have an eye on it. And you're the right.
He drew first round pick.
You're the right tackle, bro. Like, and then completely whiffs on that, doesn't even touch him, sack, and that was the game. So I mean, it was. I mean, I was just glad it was over at that point.
I'm glad America had to watch that because
damn,
now everybody is talking about Marcus Mariota, and they're like, "How is this guy playing?" You got everybody at ESPN trying to free Kyle Pitts and Drake London now. I mean, people are just sitting here, talking about Arthur Smith's press conference today, just being like, well, he just needs to start the rookie. So I'm glad everybody had to witness that because we've been witnessing it all year.
Yeah, I mean, Mina Kimes went off on it today. Did y'all watch the halftime show last night?
I did. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, all 3 of the vets went in on
all 3 of them. Sherman said at this point you got to bring somebody else in. He's making rookie mistakes, and as a veteran, you can't have it. You have to have a good game plan. You run the ball. You don't turn the ball over. This is carelessness, and that's what Richard said. I mean, I mean, it was and we'll get into the what you just said, Trey, with the press conferences. I mean, so after the game, they asked Arthur, hey, did you, I think it was Michael Rothstein, was there any consideration of going to Ritter at all? And he said, no. He said, we were trying to win a game. Obviously, I was right. It was Josh Kendall from The Athletic. It's a lot of things we have to do better. Starts with me. A lot more goes into QB play than just stats. I don't disagree with that with not bringing in Ritter last night because I just think that would have been kind of a bad situation for Ritter. You kind of hope you give the man like a full week to prepare. I mean, barring an injury or something like that, I just think that game kind of is what it's kind of like a if y'all watch baseball, it's like a pitcher who's just sucking ass and you just like, no, man, leave him in. He's going to eat these innings. Like I'm not going to bring in somebody else and burn him. Like you're just going to eat these innings and give up however many runs. That's how I felt. Like, no, leave in Mariota. But everybody can see now kind of what we've been talking about for the entire season. And Ritter can come on and get the next start. So I don't disagree with that. But he's any questions asked when it came to the QB situation, man, you talk about just dancing around. Like he didn't want to answer him.
Can I say that to me is a bit of an answer because what I have observed about Arthur is he is so stubborn in what he believes in that very moment that you can hear it in his voice. You can see it on his face. And you can tell in the quote what he's saying. Any other time, he always says, Mariota's the guy. All this overreaction, whatever. He's the guy. Last night, he did what we know Arthur Smith loves to do when there's things that may have a little merit to it or there's huge contention around it. He gets a little defensive and he tap dances around it and he won't answer it. And he keeps saying, because I can't remember. I don't know if it was Rothstein, but someone posted today more quotes, And they kept asking him in a different way, and he kept saying, "You're just going to keep asking me the same thing in a different way, and I'm going to keep telling you the same answer." So he's not playing that game. But I think inside, there's no way he didn't watch that game yesterday and think, "All right, you got me. Maybe, you might, you know."
He hates being told what to do, man. Like Arthur, like, you know, he's got, I don't know, maybe it's like a billionaire kid thing or something like that. You're not used to having a bunch of people tell you what to do, but he does not like it when he thinks somebody's trying to push something on him, like needing to go after a new QB.
Yeah. He said when they asked him about it, and they kept kind of pushing about, like you were saying, he said, "Man, look, we look every week just to make sure we got the right guys in the right spot." He said, "You know, you can make it about the QB." He's like, "I understand the question." He said, "How about make it about the team?" I get that too. The team as an overall sucked ass last night too. Like, I mean, it was, but I mean, like, that's not a you know, it's not a lie. But he said, you know, didn't run the ball very well, but chipped away. Late in the game, moved the ball down the field pretty well, but you know, it wasn't consistent. And then on the throw that he threw back across his body, he said it's hard to set your feet when you're scrambling. He's a competitor, and I was, what? Like,
okay, so here's the thing.
I know about that one.
Myself, like, I gained a whole new respect for elite quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen and stuff last night, because it's like sometimes when you see greatness for so long, you just think, man, like, if every quarterback just runs this way and then throws it back that way, the guy has to be wide open. No one will think he's going to do that. You see why quarterbacks can't do that. Like, Mahomes and Josh Allen make that stuff look so simple that it's like, man, why can't everyone do it? Everybody can't do that.
It looked like they hired a Mahomes impersonator to go out and try and play like Patrick Mahomes last night. And that's about exactly what you would expect would happen.
Yeah, exactly right, man. And Marcus said after the game, he said, and this is, look, I'm not like, and we'll get to the whole overall quarterback thing, but like, I've seen so much stuff on Twitter. Like, there was folks like saying, "Man, I hope y'all are happy now that, you know, you're finally like," I'm like, what are y'all talking? Like, who the hell is happy that he's sucking ass? Like, if you're happy about it, you're not a Falcons fan. Like, if he's the quarterback, like we said it a few weeks ago, and I said it on that long ass rant tweet that I did, like, if you want whoever's playing quarterback to succeed, man, like, just period. Like, I don't want him to do bad. I want him to do good. I want to make the playoffs. I don't care. Like, but
man, God want him to do bad. Nobody, like, God want him to do bad. Like, I mean, shit, that ain't nobody's fault but God's and his. No one else.
I mean, it's just not what we're seeing, you know. And that's why all I said in that tweet that I sent out, that rant, I was like, y'all just got to be honest. Like, just. You know, I mean, you can support him, but you have to also just use your eyes and look and see what you see on the field. That's all. You know, like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But like he said after the game, and this is, I swear to God, because I watch all the conferences because we do the show, right? He says this every game. It starts with me. I got to do a better job. He said weather wasn't really a factor. He's used to the Oregon weather, so he's like, you know, that wasn't really nothing for me. That's something I was used to in college. He didn't make any excuses. Give him that. He said, you know, we're just going to take a break. We're going to flush it. We got 7 games left to make a run. And they talked to him about some of those passes he made. He said, I was trying to create a spark, and that's where I've gotten myself into trouble over my career. Ill-advised throws. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm 8 years in. Like, you got to learn at some point. Like, you've got to know, like, if you know that's your doubt, like, that's something that you've done, you got to change it. You can't keep doing it. Like, that's just, you know, this is part of being a professional at whatever you do, whatever job you're at. Like, you know, you learn and you change and you make, you know, progression. He said, Carolina did a great job of bringing pressure packages. He said, we got to do a better job on first and second down. He says that every week as well. Getting into third and manageable. He's got to throw the ball better in those circumstances. And he said, I cannot take those sacks like I did late in the game, which, granted, a couple of them were not on him. A couple of them were just terrible protection. He didn't have much of a chance. So, I mean, you know, and then Arthur today was a little bit kind of the same way. They kind of asked him, Michael asked him again. He said, I know it's only 20 some hours since the last time I asked you this. He said, but is Marcus still your starting quarterback? And he said, I understand why you're asking the question, because it gets headlines and that's what you're going to ask. But he said, our feeling about every position is that we are objective and we evaluate everything from week to week on every position. You have to keep the competition going. I understand the question, though, and why you ask. And then he asked him a follow-up. He said, okay, well, what about Marcus then that you're saying you're doing a competition every week? So what about Marcus has solidified that starter role to you? Like, so it's pretty simple. To me, it's a pretty simple question. Like, you could say, hey, his leadership, his anything, something like that.
It's not the
Very
same
simple
question.
It's not the same question.
It's not the same question.
Nope. And he just said, same answer. We evaluate everything and then didn't go into any other depth. So I'm like, dude, you could have said literally any other like complimenting attribute that you wanted to say, and you chose not to, and just say you're going to have the same answer. So, I mean, like Fleek said, I mean, and Michael actually tweeted out after the fact, and I'd saved it because it was kind of what I thought too. He said, I know people are annoyed at Arthur Smith's lack of QB answers, but as Jeff Schultz said, this feels like he's partially deflecting. Most questions he's really good about answering, and he'll let you know when he's not going to answer too. Sometimes you just have to pay attention. So what he's saying is exactly what Fleek said. Like, the fact that he's not saying anything really in detail, it says a lot.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, and he went on to just say basically, that we're still in it as far as the division goes, which honestly is probably what's holding us. That's I mean, like we said it before, if we're 2-6, man, or something like that, he's probably already starting, or hopefully, my God, I hope at that point he would have been. But he said, as ugly as it felt at times, we got the ball back, had a chance to tie it, but really it was a dud in all three phases of the game. That question was asked by Josh Kendall, and he said Carolina was just more ready than they were. Their focus, you got to have a focus at a high level at all times of the season. And he asked Josh Kendall last one final question. He said, how do you feel about Desmond's development since the beginning of the season? Like, do you feel it's gotten better and stuff like that? Oh, the same as I feel about all of our young guys.
I hate when they say that. I hate that so much.
It's like, well, Troy Anderson's
playing. Troy Anderson's playing. Tyler Algier is like getting hefty carries.
5th round pick is playing.
Yeah. So and this is the closest thing that this is the closest thing he came to saying anything discouraging about Marcus. They asked him about some of those just ridiculous ass throws and like scrambles, stuff like that. He said, you don't want to take someone's initiative away, but you don't want them to press or rush a decision. Because that's something he said earlier in the press conference. He said he felt like the team as a whole was pressing the entire night. He kind of felt when they got behind, that Marcus was, he didn't say this, but Marcus trying to do too much. Everybody's trying to do something a little bit extra, right? And he said there's a very fine line. Marcus's creativity has allowed us some more opportunities in games this year, which is not false. I mean, that run when it helped get us in position to win the game in the Carolina. I mean, I get that. But he said but when you're extending it and you're not realizing it when the journey is over at that point is when you start hurting the team. So that's just him saying Marcus can't be extending plays like that and not realizing that, hey, okay, I just need to either throw it away or do something with it other than try to just force it to somewhere and ends up in somebody else's hands. So that's the closest that he got to saying anything at all disparaging about him. But I don't expect him to dog him. I just want a little bit of honesty. I mean, like, he's not these questions like you ask him, like, what about him as
that's the thing that bugs me about that question about asking about Ritter's development, because to me, telling us that you like what Ritter's doing, I'm not saying that that's what he was going to say, but let's just assume he's saying, Ritter's progressing well. To me, that's not a slight to Mariota, but they hold themselves back from saying things like that because they feel like it's going to be perceived, because they know how contentious this QB situation really is. So they just won't say anything. They won't even tell the good things that we want to hear about our rookie quarterback. They won't even tell us that because they're afraid that it's going to look bad with their relationship with Marcus. And Marcus seems to be a great person. Like, hell of a person, for real. Quarterbacks win games, though, in this NFL. And, like, Ritter just can't be worse. Any worse.
You said it.
And
I think I said that last time I was here. And to show that was 4 weeks ago, last time I joined you guys on the show, and I said those exact same words. There's no way Ritter isn't at least as good. And I still feel the same way 4 or 5 games later. So that means not much has changed. And like you said, we do have 7 games left in the season, and that provides us a unique chance to me. Some people may look at starting Ritter as a concession of the season. Like maybe we aren't playoff bound. Let's just hand it to the rookie, evaluate these 7 games, and see what we got. But the way we've been winning games with the run game, if we could hit on a few more of those shots and eliminate a few more bad decisions, we could have a really good offense. Because Drake London is really good, and Kyle Pitts is really good, despite what you may remember. Remember last year, he did have the second most yards of a rookie tight end ever. I know it looks really nasty this year, but I don't know, man. Better QB play. We probably 2 more games in a win column, and we're looking at a better pseudo bye week, a better 10 days. It's gonna be a hard little 10 days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll get right back into that.
A point I had that I didn't hear anyone else say, and I held it until right now because I was trying to be positive with Marcus Mariota playing white bread. But I always thought, I never heard, because I heard everybody say he was playing because we might make the playoffs, And I thought, why that is, that makes sense. My thought in my head, I said, I don't want to skunk the party, was, doesn't he look like we won't make the playoffs because of him? Like, we won't make it because he's playing. Like, if we swap, we would. And if he plays, we wouldn't. And I said, I shouldn't say that because that's, I'm out of my Falcon mind. Let me hold that. But now I can say it. You know what I mean? It's like, And to me, that was clear from early in the season. And it's only because of this. I understand, like, man, I couldn't play quarterback. So he is talented. I'm not saying he doesn't have any talent, but when I see you doing shit that looks like you had a seizure when the ball was in your hand, or I can't think of what you was thinking, or you panicking, or you making bad decisions, or you just throwing it like, I'm gonna just throw in the double coverage and see what happens. Who is back there? Calvin Johnson? Is it Jerry Rice? Dog, like who do you think you throwing to? Because I have trouble remembering a name sometimes, even me. So I know you don't damn know. So I'm just saying, dog, to me, he panics. To me, he's not competent. And I mean, the man is not competent. He's not a competent quarterback. And I didn't want to say that all the way until right now, but he's so incompetent, it make me question a coach I just had faith in. That's how incompetent. And now I'm thinking, like, what the fuck could you be thinking? Man, if Desmond Ridder can walk, talk, and move his arm, come on, man. And I mean, come on, dog. Like, what is the standard? He don't even got to be killing in practice no more, dog. If he could walk, speak, chew food, and drink water, and use the bathroom, come on, man. Like, he cannot be that bad. So now I'm saying the quarterback play, I don't want to hear no fans. I told y'all this before on the show. I give everybody it could be some on this side. I give everybody that piece because I would want the same. But some shit is just, I don't do it. I have to cut it off, and this is one of them. There's no way you saw that last night and say, no, what the reason was. No. Come on, man. If you saw your brother on tape stealing, that's your brother stealing. Don't say somebody Photoshop your brother in the Walmart footage. That's your brother. He putting that shit in his pocket. So I'm just saying Marcus was obvious to the world. And like Trey said, it was embarrassing, but I'm kind of happy it was on Thursday night because to get more media on Arthur Smith as to make a change. Like, stop being stubborn. I'm all for being stubborn. I'm stubborn, but not to the detriment of the team, bro. And that's what it seemed like at this point. Well,
and I've never seen more people so concerned about a rookie quarterback than Desmond. Like right? He's like he's a high school 16-year-old football player. Yep. He might be or is probably the most mature quarterback that came out of that draft, right? Mm-hmm. He's a 4-year starter. He didn't lose a game at home during Cincinnati. We saw him in the preseason. You kind of know what kind of makeup the guy has. So do you think he's going to just wet the bed when he goes out there and with the ones? Does the offensive line suck? Yeah, they do. They don't pass block worth a damn. But is he going to die? Probably not. I mean, like and the thing is, like y'all said, I mean, is he going to be that much worse? I mean, the Bull Bros even told us in the recap game, he's like, man, if y'all had a quarterback that got you 30 more yards, y'all probably win that game. Just 30 more yards. 2 or 3 completions.
Just said 1 or 2 more passes. So that's why I'm saying you swap.
Literally,
just think with 3 more completions, you may win the game.
Yeah, like I just never seen like people so worried about the guy coming in. I'm like, dude, like why the kid gloves, man? Like I get it. Like
Yeah.
I just man.
And that's why I agree with Mike so much too. And Mike, I've been vibing with you the whole night, bro, with everything you said, because that's exactly how I feel. I've always supported and backed Arthur Smith as well. But like last night I was very, very I wanted to make a tweet that was saying, like, you know, man, if Mariota is my starter next week, I don't know how engaged I am, to be honest. Because
look how I'm dressed, Fleek.
Yeah,
Have you ever seen me?
yeah, that's
Have you
what
ever?
I'm saying.
Come
No,
on, buddy.
never,
I'm disengaged.
bro. So it's like, at this point, how bad could Ritter possibly be? Because I mean, teams that know we've somehow given Marcus Mariota this true QB1 loyalty, like he's just like proven, like he's just like he's been the guy before to just step on a field and show out every Sunday. And he's never been that guy in the NFL. So when we talk about guys like Matt Ryan getting benched for Sam Ehlinger for the rest of the season after like 6 weeks, you talk about Carolina's QB situation. They will start 4 different quarterbacks in 5 weeks just to see what works best. The Falcons are not working with QB house money. Marcus Mariota has never been Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers. Like, he's never earned this solid ground he's standing on. Like, to where if I question him, I'm attacked on Twitter. That's weird to me.
But
like,
it's
what
the
did
pretty
Marcus
girl,
Mariota
Fleek.
do?
Hey,
Yeah.
Fleek, I'm gonna tell you, it's the pretty girl thing. They treat him like, you know, the pretty girl, man, everything she say funny. She always right. You don't want to tell her outfits suck. You don't want to tell her she got dandruff, her lips crusty. It's the pretty girl. Like, so she, like, all her opinions right. You just don't want to hurt her feelings. And I'm like, not to the detriment of the team. I'm all for it, man, but I'm all for being positive and being nice and giving people a chance and being, because he's a good character, he's a good leader, but not to the detriment of the team.
Yeah, and Trey, I want to hear your opinion in a second, but I'm gonna jump back into the chat real quick. Carrie, what's up?
Carrie, what's
up, y'all? Thank God it's Friday. Glad I caught you live. I enjoyed the show. We appreciate you.
Carrie,
as
we
always.
got the boys on, man. Like, we got to be the GOATs now. We got the boys on. Come on now.
Cole said, I think he's talking about Arthur Smith. He gives off Matt Nagy vibes sometimes.
A lot of former Bears on this team.
Yeah. Carrie said, Mahomes makes it look easy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You got a golden arm like him. Yeah, he makes it look real easy. And Anthony said, I'm starting to think that Mariota is getting payback for getting pinched in Tennessee by Arthur. And he's like, fuck this. I'm going to make this money and real quick and retire. Hey, man.
Bro.
Yeah, I mean,
it's working if he is.
Right?
Yeah.
And he said, this loss had my thoughts and feelings all hurt.
And you both.
Man.
Yep.
And you both.
Yeah. And
Hey,
Cole
trust
said,
me, I was in a blender last night too, bro.
Right. And then Cole said he could be, but we got to find out before the offseason. Yeah, talking about Ritter. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So Trey,
I thought you was talking about Mariota. I was going to go on a 30-minute rant, bro. My heart just skipped a beat. I said, like, what, dog? Man. Are you not listening? Are you live?
No.
Dog, you scared me, man. I love you to death, but you scared me.
All right, Trey. So your thoughts, buddy, on the whole thing. Ritter and coming in. When do you want to see him against the Bears or what?
You know, what I want does not matter.
Trey trying to word this nicely. Man. I can already tell. Like, he trying to word this nicely, but he about to kill him.
You know what show you're on, right? So you know.
Oh yeah, no. So here's my thing. Y'all were talking about it. It can't get much worse. Okay, so what if it does? Like, even if it does, okay, great. Guess what? We just sped up the timeline. We're not wasting time on this quarterback. We're moving forward. We're not wasting time with Mariota either now, because we see both of them won't work. And then you go out and then you try to find your next QB. I think the idea of losing, or people thinking that this team wants to tank, or I think people are too caught up in that fear. I think for some reason they've gotten this little taste of winning. They've seen every week on Twitter that they're tied first in the NFC South. They have a playoff spot ready for them in the NFC South, but that's an illusion. You got to take this team week by week and look at how they've performed week by week. This isn't a sustainable playoff football team. This is a football team that for a while had been losing by a little and had been winning by a little, and now they're losing by a lot and they're not winning anymore. So you have to take this team for what they really are, and that's a bad football team. And that's okay. It's a bad year of football. Everybody else in our division is bad, and we've had times where we can take advantage of it, and it is what it is. But when you're looking at what's best for this team, how to evaluate this team, I think you finally hit the point to where you can say we've seen a large enough sample size of Marcus Mariota. We've seen 10 games of Marcus Mariota. He's an 8-year veteran. This is not our quarterback of the future. This isn't fixable. This isn't somebody who's going to have the Geno Smith storyline. I think Geno Smith is the other thing that's giving people hope. Geno Smith is balling.
Yeah.
Geno Smith in this offense would be a totally different story.
100%.
We're not having a Geno Smith scenario, and that's okay because that rarely happens. Nobody thought Geno Smith would be doing what he was doing, and that's what makes those stories stories and not sustainable ways on how to build a football team. So you need to see the rookie. You need to see what he's got. If he goes out and loses 7 in a row, I don't care if I see the traits. We all know what QB1 traits are. You see them when you watch the kids play. Can he make all the throws to the outside? Can he hit his playmakers when he needs to hit his playmakers? Will there be interceptions and other mistakes mixed in? Of course. It's a rookie quarterback. But we're already seeing that with Mariota, and we're not seeing any offensive production from the QB spot either. His best game is a game where he only threw 14 passes against the San Francisco 49ers. This kind of has gotten to a point now to where you got to say, look at Justin Fields. Most people would say awful for the first 1.5 games of his career. Look at him the last 4 games. He looks like the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And now we got to play the Bears too, and it looks like he's ready for the revenge. I mean, this is a team that many people thought could have taken him, but the point is if you don't give your QB time, you're not going to find out. Justin Fields needed all that time. The Bears needed all of that time to figure out Justin Fields too, so that they can see if they can make it work, and they finally done that. If we're going to decide that we're not going to do that, then I think this coaching staff is just putting a lot more pressure on themselves for next year. And they've now extended our timeline as a team in terms of sustainable winning and being a competitor, because when you don't have the QB, you don't have the team. It doesn't matter. Everything else can look great. It can be as good as it is. That's not winning you a Super Bowl anymore. So they have to figure out if this kid can do it or not, because if not, they're just setting themselves up. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not sure we'll see him against the Bears. I can see this coaching staff looking at this game and saying, bad weather. And this was the first time Marcus really played bad, because everybody's talking about how he pressed the issue, but they also said everybody pressed the issue. All 3 phases looked terrible. We were only, I've listened to some of the things that y'all were saying that he said. He mentions that it was only a 1-score game and we could have tied it up at the end. It sounded like he wasn't as upset with the performance as everybody else. And I could see him waiting till the bye week. You give Mariota these 3 games, the Bears, the Commanders, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. 3 extremely winnable games, but you let them finish it out, and I think that's what we'll see them do, sadly.
Yeah,
to be honest, like
I don't doubt it.
John had a great point when he said that it did make sense to leave him in the game, but the way I think I would have pulled him, because it's like this. It's best for Ritter that he doesn't go out there in those conditions, losing like that. But also, I think I just would have had to prove a point to Mariota. Like, you cannot, like, just for the team, like, you play like this. You said at the start of the year, no entitlement. You know what I'm saying? You remember that shit? No entitlement. It's not just your job. But that's kind of what you show. When you play bad, you come out. Dog, when you come out, like, I always admire Bill Belichick. He's a great coach, but the main thing is, dog, when you drop a ball or you miss a block, when you come on, he don't even look you in your face. You sit down. He pull you from the game immediately. Sit down. Like, and then, like, dog, they over there chastising you. Like, I don't don't just let it play out. Why, if even in your words, we got a chance to win, why are you letting it play out when this man is he's clearly not going to do his thing? He's not going to turn it around at halftime. Come on, man. Somebody's stinking and then going to turn. Have you ever seen a player in the NBA score 0 and then in the second half score 50? Like, man, like, just come on, dog. He's not going to turn it all the way around. So, no, pull him. I think you pull him, especially when he do that. You got to show the team. You got to show the team. Like, I'm going to be honest. You got to show the team, like, this is unacceptable no matter who it is.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna fly.
It
ain't gonna fly. And you know the crazy thing, Mike, you don't even have to go back to the no entitlement quote at the beginning of the season. He says he looks at every single position week by week.
Yep.
And wants to give the team the best position, to put us in the best position to win. And if he rolls Mariota back out there next week, I'm going to mark that as a lie to my face. Because there's no way the performance he gave was even close to like decent enough in your mind to where you could look at me and really tell me, no, we can fix that. Like, I don't believe that. And you know what? The longer Ritter doesn't play, the more everyone loses. Ritter loses because he already only has 7 games max to prove that he can be a guy. The Falcons coaching staff loses because if they just, let's say they draft a elite prospect, an elite quarterback prospect early in the first round. Let's say we make a trade or something, get to the top of the draft and draft the QB like Bryce Young, right? Or CJ Stroud. That's a lot of people still want that. And the thing is, you can do that. And that quarterback can also still suck. That's still a thing. So even if you hit on him, what if you would have hit on Ritter in the third? That first round pick could have been another elite prospect. It's just the longer you don't know what you have, the more everyone loses, in my opinion. And to be honest, and it hurts to say, but I can honestly see what Trey said happening. Because I felt like this every week, and Arthur does say every week, he kept us in position. He kept us close enough. He made plays when he needed, and it's like, man, Trey actually has this funny running joke where it's like God chose Mariota to be our quarterback because, like, no matter how
the universe
bad
keeps saving this man's job.
They keep saving his job. Like,
that's true.
It's so crazy. But, like, Mike, what you said, when he hit the ground and threw it, the 360 ground flip throw, that right there to me was like, okay, now you playing. Like, now you think, like, it's a game in your mind and your subconscious. Like, you're untouchable because you would never, like, if you really thought that you had some type of chastisement coming behind that, you wouldn't do nothing like that. You would not do that.
That's the good. I'm gonna tell you, man. Arthur Smith is the dude. I know we all done had this experience. Have you ever had your man that just won't admit his girl cheating? I mean,
dude.
She look, bro, I called her. She coming out the room with a dude with his shirt off. Man, it's her personal trainer. Ugh. All right, bro. I don't know what to tell. Like, he just won't admit, and it's like he's so like him as a person that I think he want to be so positive. Like, nah, give him one more go. He could turn it around. He learning the playbook every week. He getting more and more comfortable. He getting more and more relaxed. And I think he want to do that so bad that it's to the detriment of the team.
Yeah.
So do you think it's a bit of, I'm sorry, John, but just right quick before I forget, do you think it's a bit of, I've benched this guy before and I don't want to bring him here just to bench him again halfway through a season? Like, do you think it's a little bit of that in play because he does care about him as a person so much? Like, his leash is extremely long.
I think what Trey said was spot on, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm glad Trey said it because I was furious and he brought me down halfway. Because I'm gonna tell you, I had no idea why Desmond wouldn't be starting. Like, I'm a creative dude. I can't think of one thing. Then Trey say where he's a stubborn person. Well, see, I didn't know that. Now at least I still hate it for myself, but now I can, okay, it's a logical reason why you may be just like, y'all ain't gonna force me, like you're not gonna pressure me to do nothing. I'm kind of like that sometimes. So maybe he's doing that.
He's like, I was gonna start Ritter anyways, but now that you told me to, no, he will not start.
Right.
And on I get a kick out of the argument that I see a lot. Is like, well, this is wrong with the team and that's wrong with the team. This is wrong. Why don't y'all? But no, everybody is calling out all those issues too. But the thing is, the quarterback touches the ball all the time on offense, right? The most important player on your team. So that's why the criticism comes. Do they get criticized more than they probably should? Yeah, sometimes, for sure. But there's no way.
Credit when they should too,
Exactly. It goes
Right.
both ways, man. It goes both ways. So I'm not.
All four of us do that.
You can, and you can accept that there's other issues with the team that have to be fixed. We all know that, but you can also at the same breath say, and the quarterback is one of them. Like it's that simple, man. Like it's really, and we'll jump back in because I know folks want to talk about this. So we'll see. Mike, you got Anthony here.
Here's the thing what do you say? Here's the thing we've seen what Mariota can do. Now we have a rookie that we've seen previews of in the preseason. Now it's like, okay, if we put Ritter in, if he's worse than Mariota, we know drop them both. But once again, I was going to say what Trey said when he was naming all the benefits of playing him now. Also, he gets 7 games. You get to see what he can do in a good. I think that's a good number, to be honest.
Yeah.
You get to see what he can do, and you know what to draft based on what you saw, what he can do. So I think this is the perfect time. Now, again, it's poor coaching. It's not just on the field. It's this off this field shit. That's all got to do with coaching. And I'm not respecting you as an intelligent person anymore, man. If because you continue to act insane.
Yeah, and some of the folks just have it completely wrong too, where they think, "Oh, well, you just want to see. How do you know Ritter's going to do better?" Well, no, but we don't. But we have to find out, right? So why do you draft the guy? Like that's it. Like he may come in and shit the bed. That's fine. We know. Well, then we'll know. But like we have, like I see so much of that, man, going online. Like, like you're just arguing just to argue at this point. Like, I mean, do you really think that we think? I mean, like Trey said, when rookie quarterbacks, Peyton Manning, dude, like 500 interceptions in his first season. Like, I mean, like you're going to look, like he said, you're going to look to see the attributes that's going to be of a QB1. If you see that there, you're going to accept the mistakes. All right. If he can't make those sideline throws, he can't throw a deep out, all the other stuff that comes into, you can see he's not processing his reads, all that stuff. Okay. That stuff that can be seen during the game that you have to see during game time. You can't see it in practice. I don't care what the ones or not. So like all that stuff's got to be with live bullets. So like, yeah, I mean, 7 games, whatever we can get at this point, I say I'm in. Like I'm good. I've seen enough. I mean, and the argument that you can't say, well, Mariota, like every time he makes a good play, like, okay, there's the reason. Dude, you can't point out me one play. It's every game though, right? Yeah, it's like every game is like, well, he did this at this point. Yeah, okay. What about the other 3 quarters? What about the other 10 misses?
He won NFC.
Only evaluate a rookie like that.
Exactly.
He won NFC Player of the Week completing 13 passes.
Right.
He threw for like 140 yards, and Twitter was like, "Oh my God, MVP!" And it's like he just didn't f up. That's all that happened. He didn't mess up. That was the first time you saw Marcus Mariota not almost ruin the game. So you felt like he had took a step, and he didn't. He didn't. It was a greatly executed game plan.
Kerry said, "I'm with Mike. He's been reckless with his decision making with the ball. There's no excuse for that. Throw the ball away, something." I'm gonna tell you again, the word that popped into my head. I've been watching football since I was 9, and I swear, not one time did the first word pop into my head when I saw a football play was unprofessional. That was even unprofessional. Dog, it was so bad. It was you don't do that. You got to come out the game. I got a question. If you got money on the game, if you had a seizure, if you got to have an asthma attack, something better be wrong with you. When I see that, I'm thinking you better have pulled a groin muscle where you can explain yourself doing that. Because if you healthy, man, there's no excuse for that. You come out, you get benched, and we need to have a serious talk.
Cole said Mike Vick debuted against the Bears. We would have got to do the same.
There you go.
I like that.
That would be cool.
I like it.
That'd be real cool.
Shit, everything else lining up.
Right.
Not for long.
Anthony said, long story short, NFL stands for not for long. With that said, we got to see what the rookie's got. And if he sucks, we know to move on from Mariota and Ritter. We can go to for Lamar Jackson then. Yeah.
John said it best. You have to see with live rounds. Some things you got to see with live rounds just to see what he is.
Kerry said MM1 played like a rookie yesterday straight out, and he's supposed to be an 8-year vet. Do understand why we can't play our actual rookie at this point because it can't get worse.
Yeah,
and then she followed up. She said, let's see if Ritter's our future or not. I like Arthur Smith, but I feel like he's stubborn as hell. And I really think he's not starting Ritter against the Bears is perfect if time is up there. Yeah, I totally agree.
Shout out to Trey for knowing the personality traits of the coach, bruh. Come on, Trey. Come on, man. I'm telling you.
Hey, Trey
knows stuff, man. Because I did not know that. I feel a little comfort, slight. But
yeah. Well, you can see it in his press conferences, dude. You can see it in his eyes. You can see it in his face when he gets some of those questions asked, and then you can tell like real quick. Like even like when Michael asked 2 questions today, he said, I think it was Michael, or was it Michael or Josh? He said, I'm going to ask this question, but maybe it's going to be a little bit different. It was completely different. And he said, and then he said the same thing. He said, I'm going to answer you the same way. He said, you want to try a third time? I'm like, dude.
Like, geez,
that's that little defensive stuff that I was talking about, where you could tell it's festering in his mind. It matters to him more so than it did before because he's more intense when it comes up now. Yeah, because you can't hide what happened on national television. You can't lie to us.
Yeah, and I get it, man. Like you don't want to admit that, like shit's not going your way, and this is what you had planned. Like I get it. Like, but you also got to have a little bit of humble juice in you and be like, all right, well, this is not working. So let's go ahead and make a change and see. But man, I understand you're not going to say that in the media, but like just internally, that's what you got to be thinking, and at least having discussions with your coaching staff. Kerry said people keep saying Pitts and London are giving up on lazy route running. Maybe they just know they'll be overthrown or they don't trust him in one. How about that? I don't know. Pitts had 1,000 yards last season. Yep.
Absolutely. By the way, Ritter and Drake London trained together this offseason. They have the same agent, so they trained together extensively. Yeah. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, And Cole says it's just disrespectful to Pitts and London because we were wasting this time. They're young and talented. Yep. Yeah. And Kerry said people also say Pitts will want to get out of Atlanta if something doesn't change. Wow. I really hope not. I hope we have our franchise QB sooner than later, so Pitts with us a long term. Yep.
Yeah.
And then Cole said Mariota does make plays, but the inconsistency. It is. It's just, that's what you don't need as a quarterback. Is to be inconsistent pretty much through the entire game every week. Right. So except for one outlier, and that's it.
It's the cheating girlfriend who cooks sometimes.
Yep. It's okay the day she cooks. It's okay.
Yeah, it's cool the day she cooked. You know what I'm saying? But then you're reminded she not answering her phone. She said she was asleep. You driving past the house, you stressing yourself. I'm telling you, man, just leave it. But you gotta admit it at some point. You gotta admit it at some point. You gotta come to the conclusion that you can do better and move on. And Arthur Smith and you can still be his best friend. You can go fishing with him, to the movies, skip together, rollerblading. You can do anything else you want with him. But he cannot be the quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons because it's at the detriment of the team.
I'm so glad you done said that 10 times today because
it is. Exactly because I wasn't on him. I said we got to give him pay. He didn't get a chance to pick those people. So how much can you judge him? I always was in defense, but now again, it's the same with Marcus. When you go too far, when it's just not even logical what you're doing, now I can't defend that. I don't care if you my family, the pastor, my teacher. When you not making sense, come on, dog. If you eating styrofoam, I can't trust your judgment. I feel like he eating styrofoam for the world to see. And I'm trying to justify it. Man, I got to give up at some point. And that's why I say it was an acceptance that we all kind of gave up a little bit last night. I'm still out of my Falcon mind, but it was an acceptance last night.
Yeah. Well, and Marcus is a grown ass man, right? Like you would think he understand like this. He knows this is his last shot to make to be a starter in this league. It is what it is. So, if you're going to tell me that, you can't go to him and, hey man, it's not working out. This week we drafted Desmond 3rd round, could be our future. Like that's just a conversation that should be had, right? It's going to be had eventually at some point. And I don't think he's going to sit there and cry on his hands. I think he's going to understand completely. He's going to, he's like we all know, like he's a good dude, he's a stand-up guy. I think he understands the situation, and maybe that's why, and that's also could be why that pressing last night. You're starting to see more of it. Maybe that's why he's trying to make plays and like keep himself in the game. I don't know. I'm just throwing shit out there, but you never know. Cole said Mike kills me. Laugh my ass off. That's everybody, buddy. That's
I'm
everybody.
just being honest, buddy.
Yeah. So outside of the quarterback, man, and we'll end on this, and then we'll get out of here. But what do y'all see as the biggest efficiency, and outside of that, and how we want to fix it, or can we fix it this year? Are we just going to have to do it next year when we got capital and going into the draft?
It's this defense. Pease has kind of been skating by in the background, it seems, this past couple of games. You know, everything's kind of been focused on the QB play. You know, that QB controversy kind of covers up a lot of other storylines.
He's having the coffee in the background.
The Chargers game, I don't know about you guys. I was shocked at the defensive play calling in that game. You're going up against a practice squad group of wide receivers, and you play zone against a phenom of a quarterback in Justin Herbert. Guy's a robot. He just sits back there. We can't ever get to the QB. So what does he have to do? He's just got to wait for somebody to get open in the zone, picked us apart, went down, had no issue. PJ Walker and the Panthers didn't really have that much trouble getting the ball through the air when they needed to. Big plays toward the sideline. DJ Moore opened up the game with a 23-yard pass game. We've got the worst pass defense in the league right now by almost every single metric, by DVOA, by ESPN's traditional rankings. You know, and I don't think it's fixable. Casey Hayward, I think, is gone for the rest of the year. The AJ Terrell hamstring injury worries me. Got a 10-day break here, so I think this 10-day bye week, pseudo bye week, if you will say a lot about the health of AJ's hamstring. If he doesn't come back after this, then it's almost like he's been on IR. That'll be his fourth game. So really hoping that he can bounce back, but I don't think the pass rush is going to get any better. The defensive line is thin. Nobody on the interior outside of Grady can get a sack. And then Lorenzo Carter gets one, every now and then. And Ebiketie can't just quite finish yet, although he looks promising. But I think it's the defense, and I don't think it's going to get any better. I think that's really what's going to expose this team as we have to play a couple of QBs coming down the line that are explosive, like Fields, Murray. Who else? Brady's going to play us again. I'm worried about this pass defense.
Agreed. Fleek?
Absolutely. I was going to say pass defense. That's how big of an issue that is. That would have been my answer too. Other than pass defense and quarterback, I'd say execution all around. And they don't dot their I's and cross their T's. And that goes even to the DBs dropping interceptions, because like Mike said, that wasn't just a rainy game thing. That happens every single week. We've been close on some pressures, on some QB pressures, especially AK. He gets close a lot. And it's just, I saw somebody tweet a few weeks ago that the Falcons lead the league in so close plays. And I swear, the almost plays. So execution, if we could tighten that up, because as I watch the Falcons, especially the pass defense, because our run defense, even though Foreman has killed us each time he's played us, we were 8th in rush defense. So we've been pretty solid against the run this year outside of the Panthers for some reason. And but the pass defense has been Swiss cheese, been butter all season long. And it hasn't gotten any better, to be honest, in my opinion. I know we've been giving up. I mean, we haven't given up crazy amounts of points the last few weeks, but other than the Panthers game, but their pass defense is still so bad. So when you can execute on the plays where you do have a chance, because you can look garbage the whole way down the field, but if they throw your interception and it hits you in the hands, that erases everything. None of it matters. So as many dropped interceptions as we had yesterday, and as bad as that defense looked, if we would have capitalized on 2 of those plays, it looks completely different, and we're talking about a completely different conversation right now. So I think execution all the way around. If everyone just does their job, we get better.
Nailed it, man. Mike, you got anything to add, buddy?
I think y'all gonna laugh at me and say I'm out of my Falcon mind, but I think we'll start Desmond Ridder this week and win 6 out of the last 7 games.
Yes,
Like,
you're out of your Falcon mind.
yeah, right. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you why. What I saw in preseason was competence, was poise. He gonna make a few of them throws Mariota didn't make. He's also gonna he can run just as good as Mariota from what I saw. So we still got that. The spirit will change. What I'm saying is all them little close plays. I think, man, people be feeling like we supposed to lose sometimes when you keep fucking up. Like, man, it don't matter. Like when we doing shit like this, it really is not of importance. I can tell, right? But that spirit would change. Everybody would get a. And I always said this: it's a young snake. Like I feel like we got young good players on our team with this old head at the top. And I'm like, man, slice him off and put the young head at the top. So the whole thing is the young guys and see what the whole energy will change. Man, I'm so scared that the fan base going to let it go if we lose one more game in a row. They give up. It's too many strip clubs here. It's too many restaurants. They don't care that much. So they're going to give up. So I'm saying you got to keep the spirit up of not only the fans, the people that actually attend the game, the players on the field, man. When you giving them that you don't care if you win or lose. If you're not taking shots before the half, like you won't pull the quarterback. He doing 007 shit. I thought it was Mission Impossible. I thought it was a roll and shoot. Like he was doing shit I never seen a professional athlete or professional quarterback do. So no, man, I just think we gotta keep that spirit high. We gotta change. You remember, dog, we felt really good 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Everybody did. You know how that felt? I'm saying when that permeate the team, you play harder, you play better, you try harder, the fans stay in the game longer. When you acting like you could care less if we win or lose, dog, that's gonna permeate the team. And I'm saying that starts with coaching. A whole lot of your decision making make it look like you're not really interested, or you just gonna keep doing it if it's to the detriment of the team or not. Look, John said this at the start of the show: no adjustments, dog. So that's what I'm saying. I had to think: have I ever seen you outthink a coach in a close game? Maybe once, maybe twice in 2 years. Now I'm not thinking, man, you could be a high school coach like that, but you gotta think. It's chess with people of different talents. So you got to chess somebody else with players of different talents. I've never seen them win at chess, but it could be. I say the only thing I'll say is this: the little asterisk. You are playing with chess with players of a talent level that you didn't pick for what you like to do, for what you skilled at doing. So maybe next year. So even though I'm dragging him, I always say, to be fair, you got to let him go next year. You have to let him go through next year, because you got to see if the reason why it's failing is because he can't get the talent pieces that he need for what he's trying to execute. Okay, that could be it too. But all I'm saying is that still don't excuse the common sense errors. That still don't excuse you eating styrofoam. We still need to talk about that.
Yeah. I mean, and like you always say, Mike, I mean, like he's basically dealing with dollar store groceries right now. He's not shopping at Whole Foods. So I mean, like, once he's got, and for me, like y'all said the pass defense, which is, y'all said all you could say about that. I mean, it's not good. And I'll say the pass rush. I mean, and like we've talked about it at length. If you're playing like you said, Trey, in the Chargers game, man, like it drove me nuts to see the guys playing zone, backing up past the sticks on 2nd and 8, on 3rd and 7. Like you got guys dropping deep. Drives me fucking nuts, dude. Like it's what's coming. They're going to just hit you over the middle and get the first down, just like that. It's easy. A bad quarterback does it. Okay, Justin Herbert's not going to miss those throws, or those decisions. But that stuff kills me. But if you can't generate any pass rush with your 4 when you're playing zone, then you're going to get 8 alive every single time. So if you're not creative enough with the blitzes, to every now and then to keep them, and even when we blitz guys, they don't even get home half the time. So I mean, or even the pressure. So like all that, like that's a problem. And to me, I'll just add on the pass protection, because look, man, when he does a straight drop back, that freaking pocket collapsed so damn fast. Like there's not many times that he has. I mean, if we do bring Desmond in, keep that pocket rolling, because to sit back there. I mean, we got Lindstrom obviously is really good at what he does, but whether it's through the draft, which we've never done, we've never drafted to build on the lines. We've never done it. Like, I would love to see it, but we've never done it. We go and draft out. We go draft, the shiny Ferrari. We don't draft from the inside out. But whether it's through the draft or whether it's through free agency, man, we've got to build those lines of scrimmage going into next year, just period. Because I don't care who your quarterback is, man. Like, that's your offense's best friend is a good defense. And I mean, they've got to play complementary, and they're not doing that, and they can't with that talent. That's just not going to happen. Jump right back in here, see what the chat said about it. And he said I would give him one more chance at the Bears game, see if anything changes after the bye week, and if he fails another L, put Ritter in. I believe in Mariota, but he's sucking. Yeah. It's like when you tell a kid 4 to 6 times, don't do that, and they do it again and again. Now you're mistaking the kindness of weakness, discipline. Yeah. Them now sit your ass down. Yep. And Cole said, got to get an edge rusher. That's why it's so important to test Ritter this year. Let us plan our draft next year and help him on D. Absolutely. Yeah. And he said he really could make an impact, like, because London and Pitts are so talented, give the offense a whole different dynamic if we can throw downfield. Yep. And I'll end my stuff. I'll end my rant on this. For me, you bring him in now. What's the worst going to happen? He's going to be worse. Okay, cool. What's the bet? He may ignite this passing game. He could. I mean, like, I mean, and he's not like we're going to change the offense, because I mean, it's going to be the same offense, but they might call it differently if he's hitting these throws, if he's more consistent if he's got a better connection with Pitts, if he's got whatever that may be with London. I mean, like, to me, the upside far outweighs the downside for this season. We're not, if we make the playoffs, okay, great. It's a one and done. Anytime we play an elite quarterback, that game's over with. All right, before it starts. Period. Yeah. That's because of our defense. So, I mean, we're not winning the Super Bowl this year. Like, we're not going to make a run this year. I don't care what they want to say. You get in the playoffs and you have a chance. Yeah, okay, that's great and all, but not for the way this team is constructed. It's not going to happen. So for me, man, throw him in there, see what he can do. I mean,
I agree.
And for every reason that we've listed, for every point that we've made on this show tonight, I mean, it's not for hate of Mariota. It's not for we want Mariota off the team. Any of this stuff. Like, it's just simply we want to see our team do better. We want to see an opportunity for the kid to get in there and see if he's what we all think he is and what he showed in college. Does it always translate? No, of course not. But that's why you got to try it out, because we're going to have high draft, probably drafting fairly high next year. We're going to have a lot of money to spend. I love to spend it somewhere we actually need it. Yeah. So if we don't need to spend it on a quarterback, great. We can go get something else that we really, really need, like a pass rush or a secondary piece or an offensive line piece. But that's it. That's all I got. Y'all want to finish out with any final thoughts?
I was just going to say, and I'm not going to say too much about it because I've said enough about the whole QB situation today. But, even if they don't call it different, like you said, John, if he hits a throw or two, like we've been saying all night, a throw or two that Marcus Mariota missed, that changed the whole complexion of the game. That deep post to Pitts against the Chargers would have changed the game. You know what I'm saying? If that was complete, that changed the whole complexion of the game. And one of Ritter's biggest things coming out of college was he's a little inaccurate at times. But Marcus Mariota has been one of the most inaccurate quarterbacks in the NFL this season.
He's a lot of inaccurate.
He's a lot of inaccurate. Drake London is very high, and Kyle Pitts is very high on the list of uncatchable pass rates. They're both in the top 8, I believe, on that list of all receivers in the NFL. So that just goes to show you have a 6'5" and a 6'6" targets, but you're overthrowing them. You're throwing it higher than they can jump somehow. Some things just are plain to see, like you say, Mike. It's different if you're making the great read and it just doesn't go your way, but you're throwing across your body at this point. And even the blatant plays that didn't look as crazy, you're throwing it behind guys every time. Even when we're completing passes, it's because our receivers are making great catches. It just doesn't look good at all. I just don't see a reason to not put Ritter in. I just don't see one reason to not.
Yeah, Trey, anything from you, buddy? Final thought?
No. Rest up 10 days. It's nice. Pressure's off this weekend. Everybody can do something they enjoy this Sunday. Go enjoy it. Enjoy your Sunday. That's all I got.
Yeah, Mike, you good, buddy?
I would say to the Atlanta Falcon fans, man, hang in there with me, man. Some of y'all, I'm gonna be honest, man. I was reading the Twitter. Y'all gave up in the first quarter as soon as we got behind. Like y'all gave up in the first quarter. I'm like, damn, we down a few points. Like, we always got a chance. Like, just bear with us. It's gonna get ugly, but don't give up on your team, dog. It's still your team, no matter, dog. If you've been with us this long, if you an Atlanta Falcon fan, we don't win that much, but you hang in there and you be positive anyway. You feel what I'm saying? So don't stop that now. I'm saying, I know it's rough to see, but we've been through this before. We will come out on the other side, dog. Make fun of it, take light of it, it's funny. You gotta laugh to keep from crying, but don't get so mad or don't get so sad, man. Do not give up on your boys. They still your team.
Yep, 100%, man. And James in the chat, what's up, James? He said, just win, baby. Yep. And Cole said, yo, it's really nice to have Sunday off from this team.
Yes, yes, it is.
He said, at least the Hawks are balling. Yes, they are. They are fun to watch right now. And Anthony said, pray the Buccaneers and Saints lose this weekend. Yeah, it's always nice to see them lose. But yeah, I mean,
I do want to give one last shout out to my man Ski. That is my one, you call this, man, underrated. Ski, I love you, buddy. I know you're going to be playing this because Ski is in Germany, and Germany get its first NFL football game. I think it's I don't even want to say, I don't know who it is. But
it's the Bucks and
Seahawks.
The Bucks and the Seahawks. Dog, you get to see Tom Brady and Geno Smith, who was balling. So shout out to Germany. Ski, shout out to you. I hope you get to go. I hope you get to see it, or you go get drunk, or go get high. Go do something, buddy. Go enjoy yourself. But football in Germany is big, buddy. So I hope y'all do it big and have fun.
Hell yeah, man. Like Trey said, man, it's going to be. I'm watching college football the entire day tomorrow. I'm watching NFL with no attachments all day on Sunday. So
no attachments,
nice.
I mean, it's gonna be we're gonna be weird, but it's gonna be, I don't have to be stressed. Like, I'm always like this, like stressful, like hyper energy, and it even doesn't matter if we could suck so bad. I'm still the same way every Sunday, and it's just like it doesn't seem to go away for some reason. And Carrie, one last thing, Carrie said, I asked on Twitter, would Mariota start on any other NFL team? Someone just replied and said, how many third-round QBs are starting in the NFL? Well, I mean,
man, he wouldn't start that whole moves at cashier. He wouldn't even be the starting cashier. He'd be the mop until the cashier got sick, and then he would get on the cashier.
Tampa Bay's quarterback's a 6th-round pick.
Yeah, he's a pretty low pick. Yeah, he was down there. Let's see who else.
Dak Prescott's a 4th-round pick.
That means that
Russell Wilson was a 3rd or 4th-round pick. Dak Prescott 4th-round pick. Malik Willis just started last week, 3rd-round pick that went after Desmond Ridder. There's a lot more out there that people realize.
You can't play with Trey.
First-round picks.
No, dude, this is why we get these boys on the show. See, because they bomb you out. I just sit back and laugh. Trey coming with the come on, man.
Man, how many first-round QBs you see bomb?
Yeah,
all the time, dude.
And that's my point. Like, people keep bringing up, like, it's good that you didn't invest a first-rounder in Ridder. You got him in the 3rd. That's amazing value, in my opinion. Cool. But just because he has a 3 next to his name on that sheet of paper does not mean he's going to suck. He doesn't have to be a bad quarterback. It's like people seem to think that there's no doubt he's worse than Marcus Mariota right now, and I don't think that that's a fact. We don't know that.
No.
Because does anyone even know
if he is,
he's getting first-team snaps in practice at all? Has he ever gotten first-team snaps? So what are they really evaluating him with? He's throwing to Frank Darby every day in practice as wide receiver 1, and that's your evaluation.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. And she said, is there going to be an in or out tonight? I love those. In or out, Wakanda forever. Big in for me. Oh, yeah, I can't wait to see it.
I gotta go see that.
Yeah, but no, okay, we're going to do in or out on the next show because we figured that with just
it's already an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, we figured we figured with the show with the game last night and having our boys on tonight, we'd have more than enough to talk about. So in or out, we'll push that.
I got 5 hours of sleep and I don't mind doing it for my team, but don't make me stay up and then give me that. Come on, bro, don't make me stay up for that.
Okay, so thank you guys for the info about to go school that guy. Yeah, he's right.
I told you, Trey, a dog. This is why we love having them on the show, dog, because they're going to come with something that no one knew but them.
Oh, that's right.
I remember that, Anthony.
Ridder said he's going to win
Arthur Smith ever gives him a chance to.
Yep,
I'm
seen him win a
telling you,
Super Bowl,
6 out of
man.
the last. I'm telling you.
Look, man, look, nothing about, and we'll end it here because I've said this like 16 times, but like nothing about what we've seen from him makes me worried that he could not be the guy. Like everything I've seen says he could definitely be the guy. If he's not, okay, fine. We'll be wrong. It's cool. I'm not only the first time I've been wrong, or that we've all been wrong. But I mean, like, there's no red flags. It's like, man, like, you know, I don't know. I don't know if we want to get him in there. Like that hasn't happened yet. So, but anyway. Yeah. So anyway, we'll end it there, man. Guys, Fleek, Trey, thanks so much for coming on, man. At the
We always love having
kind of the
y'all,
last
man.
minute.
Thanks for having us, man.
For real.
No,
I told y'all anytime.
We just figured, man, you know, the more the better tonight because we just, you know, we could
Oh,
talk
yeah,
about ourselves.
Misery
but-
loves company.
Oh
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. Exactly. So, so guys, we'll be back on Thursday next week. We're going to be off.
Yeah.
We put in a lot of work this week. We did 3 shows.
We did.
Man, like, you know, it's been great. It's been fun, but we're going to have a little time off now. And we'll be back on Thursday night to preview the Bears. Little sneak peek. I think Justin Fields is going to eat us up. But anyway, we'll talk about that on Thursday.
Enjoy your oxygen, John. You got 10 days, bro. Enjoy your oxygen.
Man, oh man. And so yeah, and again, guys, thanks for joining us live. Everybody that's been in the chat, thank y'all so much. We love it. Like I said, the interaction is great. Just keep that coming. We make sure subscribe to the channel as always. Tell your friends, tell your family, hit the like button. The like button helps every time. So every video we post, we're gonna do little shorts. We might do a couple of shorts during the week just to like throw some stuff out there. But let's see. Yeah, Coleman, love the show, guys. Appreciate you, buddy.
Cole.
Anthony said, "Rise up, everyone." Falcons Nation. Carrie, love the show as always.
Thanks,
love
Carrie.
you back. Yep. And Cole's have been listening all year, man. We
My
appreciate
man.
it. The hell out of it, man. Yeah, definitely. So we're just gonna keep this thing growing. And we'll be
Shout out
back
to
on-
Savion. I just got to
That's
do
right.
that before we
There
go.
we go.
Oh, yeah. Shout out our brother.
Yeah, and and I did speak. Y'all can expect Dempsey to come on with us probably early in December, like the first week of December. Probably we're about to nail that down. So we've been going back and forth forever, and then actually,
It's
you
a
know, what,
hard guy to get on the show.
Yeah.
Ain't that right?
man, I'm telling you, man. Like
Yeah.
now that he's big time, I can't even. I was like, I'm just glad he's returning my tweet, my text at this point. But no, I think actually no, Mike. Next the 17th, I think we're going to have the pound for pound guys on with us. So
Nice.
so yeah, so Toby and JR will be back here with
Toby,
us.
the boys,
Great
man.
people.
Yeah, man, they're good folks. So we had a good time with them. So I think they'll be on with us next Thursday to help preview the Bears and talk about who the hell knows what by then. We'll pop up. So we'll have a good time with them. So again, guys, thanks for joining us. Follow us on Twitter, Out of Your Effing Mind, Instagram, Facebook, Out of Your Falcon Mind, and yeah, man, we'll be back on Thursday. Y'all enjoy your weekend. Relax some. Have a few drinks. Have a few beers. Have a few cold ones. Relax.
Yes.
Don't give up.
It's
Don't
going to
give
be
up on
okay.
the
It's
fun.
going to be
Don't give
okay.
up.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. Riddle will come in eventually. You know, his team's going to get better. We got a lot of money next year. It's going to be just fine. So,
Yeah,
all
I'm
right.
about to go enjoy this 1800 tequila to drown my sorrow.
Hey, y'all
Man.
saw that big ass thing of bourbon I got. I mean, I'm set for a while. So yeah, I'm
Yes,
good.
sir.
All right,
I'm
well,
already rolled up, fellas. I need to.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
all
You
right,
guys
man.
enjoy yourself. You got a long break. So, like I said, just focus on your fantasy football. You need to get that in order. It's crunch time. As always, man, we honestly love having y'all, man. We love all 3 of y'all, man. So man, look, he asked me who I wanted. I said, hey, you got to go get the voice for this one. You know what I'm saying? So it was dope to have
Thank you,
y'all
Carrie.
on.
Appreciate that.
Back at you, Carrie.
Thank you, Kerry.
Yep. All right, we'll catch y'all. Much love, guys. It's been fun.
Out of your Falcon mind. Peace.